Everyone to direct your attention to the LED screens. Allow us to share with you some information on the North-South Commuter Railway project.
Since the start of the Duterte administration in 2016, the Department of Transportation, under the strong leadership of Secretary Arthur P. Tugade, has been ushering in the golden age of Philippine railway network, with record-breaking investments being made in record scale and in record time. From 9 railway contracts under management in July 2016, the DOTR has awarded and is now implementing 36 railway contracts, with 12 more contracts to be awarded within 2021, each with an average contract amount of 20 billion pesos. These contracts add up to 1 completed project, 7 projects ongoing construction, 1 ongoing rehabilitation, and 5 projects ongoing design and procurement. Among these game-changing projects is the North-South Commuter Railway of the DOTR and PNR, which despite being started in 1994 as the Manila-Clark North Rail project, only started construction in January 2019. The NCR consists of a 147-kilometer railway system with 35 stations and 464 train cars, spanning 27 cities and municipalities, 3 provinces, and 3 regions, from Clark International Airport in Luzon through the National Capital Region and all the way to Laguna in Calabarzon. Aside from being the Philippines' single largest railway project, the NCR also holds the distinction of being the single largest infrastructure project of the Asian Development Bank and the longest commuter railway project of the Japan International Cooperation Agency. Once fully operational, the NCR will cut down travel time between Clark and Calamba from more than 4 hours down to less than 2 hours. Travel time from the Clark International Airport to Makati City via the country's first airport express service will be under an hour. This massive railway system is expected to accommodate more than 800,000 passengers per day in its first year of full operations, with capacity to service more than 1 million passengers per day in the decades to come. In the process, the NCR will generate 25,000 direct jobs during construction and close to 10,000 jobs during its eventual operations. Construction is in full swing for the NCR Manila to Clark segments, 88 kilometers of viaducts, 17 stations, and 2 depots, with all 7 civil works contractors from Japan, South Korea, Spain, and Thailand, partnering with Philippine contractors, already in different stages of construction. Meanwhile, the NCR's first 8-car train set is on track for delivery by December 2021. Despite the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic on the global railway construction industry, the DOTR and PNR, under the Duterte administration's Build program, have been steadfast in making this almost 2-decade dream of a more comfortable life for every Filipino a reality.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, truly exciting times ahead of this project. Really can't wait for this one. Of course, we will not let the day pass without hearing a bit more about this massive infra project. To help us through this, please join me in welcoming the Department of Transportation's Undersecretary for Railways, USEC Timothy John R. Batag.
Good morning po, magandang umaga po sa ating lahat ulit ngayong umaga. Your Excellency, good morning po. Sama of Trika, good morning, and to all of our distinguished VIPs in attendance today. When the Duterte administration started in July 2016, and Secretary Arthur Tugade took the helm of DOTR, it was greeted by a then-stalled Manila-Clark or North Rail project, which, despite having been conceptualized in 1994, was then very far behind from its vision of seamlessly connecting the growing industrial, commercial, and aviation hub that is Clark and the bustling capital of Metro Manila. 27 years since North Rail was dreamt of in 1994, and just 5 years since Secretary Tugade became the 12th Transportation Secretary who tried to realize and implement the North Rail project. Now, today, we finally stand on very clear, very concrete, and indisputable proof that this project is happening. Long awaited, long talked about, but very much needed, the North-South Commuter Railway project is finally becoming a reality. Massive is a word that is often and very appropriately used to describe the North-South Commuter Railway project. As we can see on, can we start please? Since we do not have the time to go through the 53 kilometers of the phase 2 of PNR Clark phase 2, we will give you a little walkthrough on what has been happening throughout all of our sites for better appreciation of everyone. So first of all, the North-South Commuter Railway system is a total of 147 kilometers, 35 stations, crossing 3 regions from Central Luzon, NCR, Region 4A, and covering 27 cities and municipalities. It consists of 3 segments. The northern segment, North 2 segment, which is part of what we are going to inspect today. The middle segment, which is ongoing construction, and of course the south segment, which is ongoing procurement. Next slide. So PNR Clark Phase 1, as we all know, next slide please, is the first 37 kilometers, next slide, is the first 37 kilometers of the project, previous slide, the one with the photos, which is currently ongoing full-scale construction. So this will have 10 stations, and it is going to span 38 kilometers. Next slide. PNR Clark Phase 2 is consisting of 53 kilometers with 6 stations. And next slide. PNR Calamba, or the South Extension, 56 kilometers with 19 more stations. Next slide, please. Currently, for Clark Phase 2, we received a total of 15 bids from 8 companies from 5 countries, record-breaking at that time. Next slide, please. Next slide. But for the South packages, we received 35 bids from 17 international companies from 7 countries, plus the Philippines, making it the most participated and record-breaking procurement, large-scale procurement that we have ever hosted. Next slide, please. Next slide. Next slide. Now, let's go through a walkthrough of the alignment of Clark Phase 2. So first, for Clark, for North 1, the first contract package, as you can see, this is the 18-hectare construction yard of our contractor, Hyundai Megawai Donga JV. 18 hectares is the equivalent of 363 basketball courts, for those who may want to have reference on how big that is. This is actual photos from last week. Next slide. Still at contract package 1, these are the ongoing piling works at a pallet station. Next slide, please. Now going to package 2, the Acciona Daily Joint Venture package. Here we see our 14-hectare yard coming to being, total of 282 basketball courts. For those who have seen the Kalumpit yard for PNR Clark Phase 1, which the Secretary has fondly referred to as a rail city because of its scale, this is the equivalent. It's a 14-hectare yard for Clark for contract package 2. Again, piling works for the San Fernando station, which is part of package 2. Next slide. While dynamic load testing at the Santo Tomas segment of package 2. Next slide, please. Now going to package 3 by the Italian Thai Development Company. Here we see their construction yard, 2 construction yards consisting of 9.5 and 9.6 hectares, a total of almost 20 hectares for this package. Again, these are photos from last week. Next slide, please. Piling works ongoing at the Clark Station, which is almost right beside the SM Clark for those of our friends from nearby. Next slide. These are the earthworks and test piling works ongoing at Angeles Station. Next slide, please. Now, of course, here behind me is the ongoing excavation works for the Clark International Airport's fully underground station. So this excavation is going to be 20 meters deep, 250 meters wide, and 60 meters in 250 meters in length and 60 meters wide. We are going to excavate a total of 300,000 cubic meters, and to date we are now at 5 meters depth. We have 15 meters to go. Next slide, please. And if you notice coming here, next slide. As you were approaching the site, you might have noticed a lot of construction works ongoing. That is our tunnel segment. Because approaching Clark Airport, coming from the main line in SM Clark, is an underground tunnel segment, which is going to be cut and cover. So this will be a similarly 10 to 15 meter depth of excavation. Next slide, please. Of course, we have our piling works at the balanced cantilever bridge that we will build across Esitex. So this is one of the more challenging segments of the alignment because we cannot be too low because of Esitex, but we cannot be too high because of the airport. So engineering-wise, I remember all of the discussions around this. Next slide, please. Of course, the largest passenger depot most likely in the region, we have the 36-hectare depot. We call this the Clark Depot, the equivalent of 726 basketball courts. This is only one of the 3 depots for the North-South Commuter Railway System. We are going to have a depot in Clark, in Malanday in Valenzuela, and in Banlik in Calamba. Next slide, please. So as you can see, we are fully free and clear for this entire contract package. Works are ongoing and on track. Beside this is an even bigger 55-hectare depot for our soon-to-come Subic-Clark Railway project, which is a freight line, which is also already ongoing development. Next slide, please. So piling works at the workshop and OCC buildings of the depot are ongoing by our, I forgot to mention our contractor, POSCO ENC. For package 4, it's Acciona and EEI joint venture. Next slide, please. Again, massive, again, is a word that is most often used to describe the North-South Commuter Railway System. And I hope that those slides shared or gave an impression of why. So indeed, the NSCR system is massive and it is going to be a reality, as you can see, with all of the construction progress that we have done, despite the global pandemic and despite all of the construction-related constraints that we had to face. Even in the midst of the pandemic, we continued working. We pushed hard under the strong leadership of Secretary Tugade, and there is no stopping this train. We are full steam ahead to deliver President Duterte's promise of a more comfortable life to every Filipino under the Build, Build, Build program. Maraming salamat po. Thank you and good morning to everyone.